Well, anytime Elon talks, he makes headlines. And this was a 2-hour podcast with Joe Rogan. I think they probably taped it sometime in the last couple of days or last night, potentially. It was dropped this morning. And over the course of 2 hours, talked about a lot of stuff. Neural net. We'll talk about the Buffett stuff in just a little bit. But one of the more interesting things was when Elon was talking about the shelter-in-place orders, and we know how he feels about this. He thinks that they're going way too far. Here he is during the podcast talking about it.
Where do civil liberties fit in this picture? You know.
Yeah.
And what can the government make you do? What can they make you not do? And what's okay?
Right.
Yeah, I think we went too far.
This podcast comes, just a couple of days after Elon Musk essentially reached another plateau that should unlock a big payday. Hasn't officially happened yet. That could pay him more than $700 million, at least on paper. And he's already a billionaire. And we know how he feels about wealth. He has talked about the fact that he thinks billionaires are targets. And he also had this to say about Warren Buffett and the type of billionaire he is.
So, let me take Warren Buffett, for example. And to be totally frank, I'm not his biggest fan. But he does like capital allocation, and he reads a lot of sort of annual reports of companies and all the accounting, and it's pretty boring, really. And he's trying to figure out does Coke or Pepsi deserve more capital? It's kind of a boring job, if you ask me.
That answer was in regards to a question from Joe Rogan about, well, look, what kind of a billionaire are you? And Elon Musk said, look, I believe that the world needs people who are doers, who are makers, who are manufacturers. And that's the kind of way that he has built his wealth over the course of, certainly over the last 5 to 10 years, as Tesla, SpaceX, and his other investments, have paid off, Tesla being the most prominent there. So it was an interesting 2 hours, guys. And it began at the very start. It was about becoming a father again, which happened, I think 2 days ago. So certainly less tame than the last time he was on Joe Rogan's show.
I still want to know how to pronounce his son's name. I guess we'll get to that in a minute.
That was not asked. That was not asked.
That's like the elephant in the room. How do you pronounce X-AE, whatever it is, A12, and why A12 over A10? I don't know. That aside, Phil, philosophically, he may be against shelter in place himself, but from a business standpoint, he's basically talking his book. He needs the shelter in place orders to be lifted in order to start manufacturing again in Fremont.
Well, you can make that argument. I think on the other extreme, he believes that there are people who are saying, look, we should not be reopening at all in this country. And his point to the people who make that argument is you're doing more damage to the economy and to other people by going to the extreme of saying we shouldn't go out, we shouldn't restart businesses, we shouldn't restart manufacturing plants, restaurants, etc. And look, Joe Rogan even said there's valid arguments on both sides of this. And Elon, he agreed, but he believes that some of these people are going over the edge when it comes to shelter in place.